To everyone. Today is Rocket Lab's day. We are now waiting for Rocket Lab to go live ahead of launch. Um, the latest update that we have from Rocket Lab is that they are fueling up. And yeah, that's pretty much it right now. Just being fueled up. So yeah. I will be pulling up the stats in a bit. Oh, sorry. Well, that's good as well. Um, this might as well be the stream of the day. Oh, all right. Okay. While we wait for Rocket Lab to go live, let's talk a little bit about the Electron rocket. Electron is a two-staged, partially reusable rocket. Sometimes. This is going to be launching in the expendable configuration. It will include the Curie upper stage. This launch will be from the Mahia Peninsula in New Zealand over at Rocket Lab's Launch Complex 1 at Pad 1A. This will be the 78th launch of Electron and the 20th launch of Electron for this year. This will be the 306th total orbital launch attempt for 2025. So, a pretty big milestone, and definitely one that I don't want to miss as we get closer and closer to the launch. I will now take a short break and be right back. So just kind of stand by, I guess. If the screen changes, you'll know. Hey, Rocket Lab is live. There's only one thing, and that is launch is definitely very soon. Also, I have my cat next to me. And also, I just realized it. Okay. I think my cat's stuck in my room because I closed the door. But whatever. In a good plan. Yeah, just going to go to sleep right there. Oh, that reminds me. Yes, yes, she's here. Everything is fine. Just gotta. Oh, that's on the laptop. Okay. I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's just on the laptop. Alright, everything's good. We're all back. Chen is safe. Everything is good. Um, we are so back. Yeah. Hello, hello. Welcome to today's live coverage of Rocket Lab's Electron launch. Um, I'm doing commentary for rocket launches now because I just kind of like doing this. It's something I really have not done in a while, and it's really fun doing, in my opinion. I want to try and start doing more of these whenever I can, because I actually do enjoy doing this. I think it's really fun to do and really cool to do. Also, my cat wants to go out, so give me 1 second. I just stepped on my Chromebook as well. I was playing some Lost Word earlier on it. Actually, no, I was playing Lost Word a lot on my laptop. Never mind. But yeah, it's a game I'm actually really starting to going back to playing. Actually, I haven't really played it a whole lot, but I'm starting to play it again a whole lot. It is actually kind of fun, in my honest opinion. But yeah. Yeah, so in response to you, Qfire on Twitter, there's a few Sakuya accounts, maybe like you, that I like to roleplay with, and that one that I was talking with was actually one of them. Though I haven't really roleplayed with Sakuya account in quite some time. Um, which is kind of sad, but also kind of understandable. Really, not a whole lot of them are active. If I'm to do anything about it, I'd probably try to find a way to make another Sakuya account and actually have it go against Chen again, and this time Chen finally wins a fight, because why the hell not? But yeah. Right now, just waiting for the commentary on Rocket Lab's end to start. Also, this one's a bit different.
It is a beautiful summer's day on the Mahia Peninsula on New Zealand's east coast, where Electron is vertical on the launch pad and ready to head to space for the second time in 48 hours, this time for the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, known as KAIST.
I just kind of muted the audio of the Rocket Lab stream here. Rocket Lab is a New Zealand company founded by Peter Beck. Sir Peter Beck. He was knighted. And their headquarters is in California. Uh, this launch complex here in New Zealand is one that they built themselves. And they also have a launch site in Virginia over at Wallops Island. So they're a pretty big company, I would say.
Now, today's mission is called Bridging the Swarm, in a nod to the beginning of the Swarm mission that we launched for KAIST last year. That was the first launch for their NeonSat constellation of Earth imaging satellites.
Today, Electron will head to a 540-kilometre low Earth orbit at a 97.4-degree inclination to deploy NeonSat 1A. This will link communications between that first satellite and the rest that are scheduled to join the constellation over the next 2 years. KAIST and KASA, which is the Korean Aerospace Agency, will use satellite data from the constellation to monitor for natural disasters and respond to national security events across the Korean peninsula. Here's more from KAIST.
if you noticed that or not. That included North Korea with a South Korean satellite. Yeah, yeah. Feel free to do that. I'll definitely do that maybe during the coast phase. Which, yeah, go for it. There you go with the go no go poll.
And to all operators, LD on mission code, we are proceeding with the go-no-go sequence, starting off with stage,
Stages go.
avionics,
Avionics is go.
GNC,
GNC is go.
recon,
Vcon is go.
T1,
T1 is go.
GC,
GC is go.
PLS,
PLS is go.
RSO,
RSO is go.
MET,
MET is go.
MM.
So,
is go.
The go-no-go sequence is complete. We are T-minus 11 minutes and 25 seconds in counting. We are go for terminal count auto sequence at T-minus 10 minutes. From this time, the three-way procedure is in effect.
Nice one out of Mission Control there with a clean run across our launch operators that moves us forward for today's launch at 1:55 p.m. local time in just over 11 minutes. Now, an earlier weather report had today's conditions at 95% favourable for launch today, and all other launch vehicle and payload checks are proceeding nominally. So while we're taking a look at Electron on the pad, here is more about what makes up our small lift rocket. So Electron is a carbon composite launch vehicle that can lift up to 320 kilograms to low Earth orbit, and it has 3 stages: a first stage, a second stage, and a kick stage inside Electron's fairing that will carry NeonSat to its orbital destination. Overall, the rocket is 18 meters in length, or about 59 feet, and its diameter is just over 1 meter.
We run 2 propulsion systems across Electron. The first involves
so yeah, this satellite here will be South Korean for spying, is one of its things that it's supposed to do. So just to give you an idea of how small of a rocket Electron is, let me see if I can pull this one up on screen really fast and then just get rid of it. Saved it. The fucking AVIF. Yeah, fucking hate AVIF. So they're testing out thermal protection systems on the first stage, which is kind of cool. So this is Electron with Peter Beck for a size comparison to just show you just how small a meter is.
pad there as well, where we are just wrapping up the launch rehearsal for our next launch that will fly from there later this week.
Now, having these dedicated pads, especially having two of those in play within the same site, means that we can launch from one and then move straight onto the next pad while the first one is being made ready for the launch after that. And that's exactly what we need to run back-to-back missions like we're doing today. Here's more about Launch Complex 1.
It is a really small rocket.
So Launch Complex 1 is Rocket Lab's privately owned launch complex here in New Zealand, in one of the most remote parts of the country, in a remote part of the world. We have 2 launch pads, as well as a large hangar where we can process multiple Electron vehicles simultaneously, and a number of clean rooms where customers can work on their payloads and integrate their payloads into Electron. The location that we're in here in New Zealand is fantastic. There are very few airplanes flying above us. There are very few ships in the seas around us. And so it's both easy for us to manage those during a launch campaign.
Look at that.
And also does not prohibit us from launching pretty much any time. The fact that Rocket Lab owns and operates LC-1 on their own, it's extremely advantageous. It means that we have full control over everything that goes on there. We have first and only priority, and we can do with it what we want. So we can configure things exactly to how Electron is designed, and we can make it work specifically for our needs so that we can turn around launches as fast as anything. We also operate from LC2, which is the Wallops Flight Facility. It's a very similar activity over there. We just have some other parties that are involved. We have some really great partners that help us with those operations. We've proven that we can launch one rocket after another within 24 hours. And with all the pads occupied, we could do the same for 3 rockets in 24 hours as well.
Yeah,
so
Rocket
as the launch rate picks up around the world from all providers, it prohibits flexibility in a lot of cases. So if you are operating from a pad at federal launch sites and another organization is also operating and they have an issue on their vehicle and they have to delay a day, that may affect your opportunities to launch or other parties' opportunities to launch. And it's this cumulative effect that means that everyone's sort of impacted by everyone else. Whereas with our own launch site that we have full control over and are the sole operators at, if we have to delay a day for weather or similar things, then not a big deal. We don't need to stop anyone else from launching. We deal with it ourselves. When we did our first Electron launch from LC-1, it was not only an accomplishment for Electron as a vehicle, but also the fact that we were the first in the world to have a private orbital launch site. And that was a huge deal. You know, the regulatory hurdles that we had to jump through and the efforts that it took to make that happen were just as big of a deal as to get Electron off the pad. And so that was a huge accomplishment, an exciting accomplishment, and we've just leveraged that since then. And, you know, as I've said, added another pad and made it just more and more easy for us to do it. And it's just so liberating to have the freedom to operate from there. So it's the most beautiful launch pad in the world, without a doubt.
Bias.
I might be biased, but I agree with Michael there. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, time now to turn back to the countdown to launch for Electron. And we are at T-minus 3 minutes, 43 seconds and counting until we send NeonSat 1A to space for KAIST. And we are tracking no issues with the rocket, the weather, or the range in these final few moments. Very soon, Electron's autonomous flight computer will take over and run the last 2 minutes or so of operations on its own, which includes finalizing the propellant load and checking that both stages of the vehicle are fully pressurized for launch before liftoff.
At T-minus 10 seconds, our launch director will count down from mission control before Electron launches off the pad at LC-1 for this mission. It's about that time, so let's listen back into MCC to hear those final moments before launch. Go Electron and go KAIST.
Code. From now on, there should be no red flags on your critical LCCs. Recon LD on mission code.
LD VCon.
Block the auto sequence and confirm.
Confirmed.
Confirm all flight computer ASCOs are green.
Confirmed.
To all operators, we go for auto sequence start at T-minus 2 minutes. LDs go for launch.
Nice. So what we just heard there is LD go for launch, and the LD is the launch director, and they are the ones that give the final word on whether or not everything is go for launch. So with that, everything is indeed go for launch. And I will leave everything here because I cannot swap it around. Okay, well that's fucked up. Whatever. Next up is launch anyway, so that's going to be at T-minus 0 seconds, and 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Of
The
course.
vehicle is fully on internal power.
There we go. Good call.
AFTS is green, enable for flight.
And there you go. Another good call. Autonomous flight termination system is enabled and armed, and the vehicle is in control of the count. So this here is the strong back. Actually, let me see if I can actually just pull this up on here.
Lock load complete. System is in recirculation.
This is the strong back here. Very, very important part of the rocket. This is what provides the fuel. This is what provides the electronics, the conditioning. Yes, air conditioning is actually a thing on here temporarily. And it provides everything else that is required for the rocket before launch. Once it is on internal power, once the rocket is on
Ring is disabled.
internal power, it's no longer needed. But fuel loading is still a much needed thing, so of course that is still going on.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 tanks are pressed for flight.
High flow engine purge enabled.
Okay, it's not doing what it should do. The fuck? Okay. Now it is. Should be good then. I think.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting.
Nope. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
10, 9,
Shit.
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Abort.
Abort. To all operators, we are proceeding with the immediate abort sequence. GC LDR mission code.
LDGC.
Confirm the range state is inhibit.
Confirmed.
And GC, please confirm the stage 1 and stage 2 umbilical status is engaged.
Confirm.
Okay,
All right,
just
Q-Fire,
confirming
see
what
ya.
we heard from mission control there. Sounds like an abort was called in that countdown, so we are waiting to hear more from mission control.
The stage terminal board checks sequence 70.
Copy and work.
At this point, we are not recycling, we are scrubbing for today.
And that's a fucking scrub.
PLS LD mission code.
LD PLS.
Proceed with the PLS prep and detank sequence 72.
Copy sequence 72 and work.
Well, that's shit.
Okay, we heard it from mission control there with the short launch window for today and that abort called right at liftoff. It looks like we won't be recycling the count today and we'll be standing down. Thank you though for sticking with us, and we'll provide updates on our website and social media channels as soon as we have them.
Just go ahead and end the stream here. Nothing else planned. That sucks. Alright.